Hey, hello everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome to WagWorksGA. Welcome to the channel. I'm Geoff, or Wags. Hi, how you doing tonight? It's good to see y'all here. I'm happy to be here, although I am a tired human. Yeah, it's gonna be a shorter stream tonight because I need to catch up on a little bit of rest and just kind of recuperate. We had a week. We had a kid in the hospital over the weekend. Everything's okay. I think I've mentioned in the past that our family is a family that is touched by epilepsy. So that was the hospitalization, but everyone's all right. We're good, and we're home. But definitely still catching up after it all. So yeah. But I'm happy to be here. Probably gonna stream just like an hour or so tonight. Nothing crazy, but it is nice to have a little chill art time as well. So that's the plan. I hope you, whoever's watching out there, I hope you had a good week. I hope you're having a good night. And let's go ahead and just jump in. Since it's gonna be a short one, we finished up the comic from last week. Actually, I can bring that up for y'all, eventually. Here we go. So let's just show where we finished up. I was mostly done when we wrapped last week. Well, here's where it landed. I just added a little bit of shading to that last panel, so right down here, and I also ended up bumping up the light phenomenon here, which, as you may gather, is called a sun dog. Let's see what we did there. So I bumped up the brightness of it and the rainbow coloration at the edges a little bit to give that light prismatic effect, as you do. Got the shading, the texturing of the grass in this fourth panel, and did a little bit of airbrush shading there just to give it little feeling of depth and variation. So I think it finished pretty nice. I'm happy with this one. I did not anticipate the number of light-based visual meteorological phenomenon we would be approaching in our comics so early on. But it's been really fun trying to figure out how to replicate them faithfully. And it's turned out pretty well. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the results so far. So that's been really good. This comic, this is an early reader, slightly educational comic, part of a series Ashley, my wife, and I do. By the way, Ashley is the A in WagWorksGA. I'm the G. We do comics for kids, and this is one of those. We do the short form ones here. This series is called Sunny Skies, as I mentioned. We do another slightly older one called Weatherwise, and those are both part of Core Toons, which I'll drop that. I actually made a command for this, which you will see the bot try to do, but probably fail later. I still need to get to the bottom of that one. So Core Toons, we've teamed up with some awesome fellow kids comics creators to create bite-sized comics for young ones with a sprinkle of educational content in each. You can sign up. It's a Substack, so you can sign up at coretoons.substack.com for our free weekly email, which contains 2 comics. Sometimes it's us, sometimes it's not. We've got 3 other amazing creators that are kind of our core group of Core Toons. Sarah Giles, Ken Ralston, and S.J. Winkler. They all do great work. And we also have a bunch of awesome friends from the community that will do features every month or so. So it's been really exciting for that. Recently we had B Week for this month. I think it was actually on the eclipse that one came out. And we had Jonathan and Desi Saint Amant. They did it, and it was really cute. I loved it. Anyway, it's free. It's fun. Especially if you've got kids, please consider signing up and checking it out. But yeah, that was our Sunny Skies we finished last week. So this will be one that's going out in a future email. And the educational thing here was Sundogs, which is what you get when you've got ice crystals in the sky. So it can be under a seemingly clear sky or a really thin cirrus deck. Cirrus being the highest level of clouds, so typically more ice crystals, and the sun's light is refracted, and so you get kind of this almost rainbowish glowy ring around the sun. Sometimes it has these little visual flares over them. You especially can notice them over clouds, but depending on the ice crystal content of the sky, you can actually get a whole circle. You can get them at night too, which is a moon dog. Anyway, that's what we were covering here. It's good times. I was realizing I don't think I've added any of our Core Toons stuff to our stream starting image carousel. I should probably do that. It's on the list. Anyway, so tonight, it's been a week, so we're just taking it nice and easy. I'm gonna, I've got a graphic novel project that we're working on, pitch packet, but I wasn't ready to bring that to stream yet, just because I hadn't fully thought through everything I wanted to do with it. So I'm gonna hop over and do some Pokemon art. It's something we do on stream anyway. I think I mentioned I entered into the Pokemon trading card game illustration contest this year. I did an Eevee design. I did all that on stream, so you can check out the videos on demand, either here on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube. They'll make it there eventually, so hopefully if you're watching this far enough in the future, those are up there, and I hope you can enjoy those. I also do pieces for Games Done Quick, so some of those pieces as well, video game fan art, and I do enjoy my Pokemon. So I'm just going to pick up, usually I do a warm-up. I'm actually going to skip that tonight because it's not going to be a very long stream. So I'm just going to hop right in here on just continuing the actual warm-up that I did last week. So warm-up is usually just this quick little thing, 5 minutes that I'm spending doing a rough sketch, maybe getting to pencil lines. And I was really happy. This is a Hisuian Zorua. So you might know them from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yeah, and I just got like a little start here on it, 5 minutes last week, and I'm gonna keep going on it. I'm not sure I'm even gonna get anywhere near coloring it, but I'm gonna finish pencils and probably get towards lines. Thinking about a background too. That might be nice to do, but I'm just gonna jump on in on pencils here. I'm gonna keep going. The lighter layer, I actually just reduced the opacity underneath. That was my sketch layer. Go ahead and label my pencils layer just to keep everything nice and tidy. And the darker layer is my pencils layer. So I've made my brush size for that just a wee bit smaller, so I can get a little more detail. And I'm starting to pick, my favorite lines, stuff like that. I'm gonna reset some of my colors here. There, it should be good. All right. So yeah, I felt like this is the reference, by the way, in the upper left corner, in case you're unfamiliar with that. I feel like this was a really good base to start working from. This is a super cute Pokemon anyway. Actually, maybe a 20 was where my pencil was at. Get that nice. So So, I will say, this is also kind of serving as my warm-up. Okay, I am missing those little tufts there. So let's get those guys in. So I will be a little bit de-rusting here as I go. Despite everything, I did get some art time in this week, which was nice, but nothing too intensive. Excuse me. Clean that up a little bit. I've heard this arrangement of the Final Fantasy IX overworld music before on this Game Chop station, but I'm really enjoying it. This is one of my favorite overworld themes. Notice one of the things I didn't get in my sketch layer is that it does have that kind of light reddish pinkish eyelid going on, so making sure to leave room for that in there. Oop. Just that wee little bit of a nose there. Happy with that so far. Okay, let's get this little bit of a floofy scarf type floof going on here. It does kind of have its own trail as well, which I didn't quite capture in the sketch layer, but that's not really the job of the sketch layer anyway. Actually, okay. To start, I'll just kind of rough in where that color changes, just so I can see it. Probably won't ink it when I actually come to draw it, but it'll serve its purpose for now. Okay, so for the paws, it's got the kind of little cute little black toes sticking out, or paws sticking out from there. Okay. And we'll just kind of repeat a little bit over here. So the tail will floof out from there. That. And here comes the tail floof. I think the scarf thing will once again be in front of it, just like it is in the reference there. I feel like that makes sense to me. So I know I do end up saying this like most streams, but the process I like to work with is kind of more the traditional comic type process. Although, you know, I think a lot of forms of art use it, where you've got like a sketch layer, also known as thumbnails. Then you've got pencils, which is what this is. So it's a little bit cleaner than my sketch, but it's not yet like my final line that I want to go for. Then I will do the final lines, also called inks sometimes. Then you start to lay down your color, your shading, all of that. It is not the only process, but it is one that is pretty commonly used. And there are these little crescent-like markings. It's not actually pure white, huh? It's a bit gray. Okay, so let's turn off the reference for now, because I think I've got the details I need. Let's turn off the sketch layer. Okay, these pencils are pretty good. Pretty happy with this. Now, when I did this sketch, I was not in the least thinking about a background, which I would like to do. Maybe it's time to do a small bit of research. I know they're found in like snowy areas. Let's take a look a little bit more in game. Just browsing real quick to see if I can grab a quick like in-game screenshot of their environment. Just to get a bit better of a feel as to what kind of background I might want to draw here. It's going to be pretty sparse, for certain. This reference in. There's one. Environment reference one. Maybe just grab one more here. It's actually usually considered better, I would say, to grab several references. And then the goal is to, instead of just replicating the reference as you see it, actually use the multiple references to get a real feel for what you're drawing, and then draw it from that understanding, not just from copying down a reference. I know I've said this before, but it's definitely, it's a point that I would definitely bring up to starting artists. I used to think that, like, okay, maybe I can just use subview. What do I have in here anyway? I can clear you out. No. Okay, there we go. Can I just paste you into subview? Nope. I cannot. Okay, well, there was probably a better way to do that, but that's all right. Oh, and you know what else I didn't do? I never turned on time lapse for this one. but I'm going to now. Okay. So let's get this project a little bit organized while we're here. In general, I feel like it helps to get your layers set. Okay. Okay, so we've got this kind of gently rolling snowy plains with sharper mountains in the background. We've got some kind of, as that may be laurels, like semi-mountainous type of foliage going on, gently snow-covered. But that would be a kind of thing that would maybe provide some cover for a sleepy Pokemon. Okay. Well, let's try some background pencils. Or sketch, really. Turn down the opacity just a little bit, and since I'm going back to a sketch type layer, I'm gonna go ahead and use a bigger brush. Put a foreground layer as well. Well, a Zorua layer. And then a foreground foliage layer. That could be kind of fun. Yep, I don't think I wanted a vector layer for this. So what we might do then is do kind of this, right? Where you've got there, but got the plant leaves coming in just a little bit. So it gives that little bit of a depth effect. You could even, you know, if I wanted to get super fancy, I could even blur it like a little bit in the final product to give it kind of that depth of field feeling, like you're peeking through and you found this like adorable little sleeping Zorua in the bushes. So maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try that. What do those mountains look like again? Okay. You got kind of the semi-flat layers. You got like little bits of snow. Sticking where it can. Okay. These are more just kind of vaguely snowy, snow-capped. Okay. That works for me. At least for a sketch layer. I just wanted to have an idea of what I was doing here for my background. Feel like it helps to kind of know where I'm going. Even if I'm about to turn that off. Just for... that's my references folder. That's what I want to turn off. Cool. Alright. So now that I'm pretty confident in my placement and my composition, I'm gonna go ahead and start inking. And I like to do my ink layers in a vector. That just means that it's, instead of the kind of bitmap type thing where you've got each pixel of the picture is a certain color, a vector layer works with vertices of a line, and it connects a smooth point between them. So, you know, you can actually do stuff like this. Whee! Right? Always good times. Now, I am a sucker for a very nice bold line. Don't get me wrong. I might try something different with this one. Maybe I'll play around. This is like my favorite G pen that I got from the Clip Studio Assets store. By the way, Clip Studio Paint is my art program of choice, in case you were wondering. I could do like a textured pen. I've added some. They've got like a bajillion different pens out there. You could do like a texture. Might be interesting. Go up a little bit. Let's just play with this. Let's play with this a bit and see where it goes. It's a very thin line compared to what I usually do, but I'm kind of okay with that. I think it does give a very different feel. Could work. What is this? Maybe. I will say maybe. There's always the option of just being like, well, I tried it and it wasn't favorite. And then I just go and do it a different way. And that's okay too. Sometimes, you know, it can be frustrating. You're like, oh, I wish I hadn't spent all the time on it, but it's never a waste of time if you learn from it. Am I right? I know I don't always feel that way, but usually when I think about it in retrospect, that's true. Usually. It's kind of a fun texture. Okay. I'm pretty good with this so far. I'm going to continue this experiment. Another great thing about vector layers is you can use the vector eraser. And I find that super helpful. So far, so good, I would say. Let's just check it without the pencils. Yeah, I'm liking this so far. Okay. I will say, depending on which artist you talk to, pencils can be varying levels of finished looking or varying levels of detail. I really like to do mine pretty close to where I'll be drawing my final ink lines. Because when it comes time to do my ink line, I really want to focus on my pen pressure to get just the right thickness. I mean, which I don't always achieve that, but you know, usually I can get it about where I want, and it helps to have already made up my mind about what I'm doing with the line in terms of where it's going, so I can really think about, okay, this is what I want the thickness to be. There we go. That's pretty good. Because I do love having some dynamism in the lines. So yeah, for me, some artists are incredible and can do like on the fly inking, handling a line thickness, pen pressure, and planning out what they're actually doing with all the details all at one time. For me, that is a maybe I'll get there someday kind of thing. And of course, I'm always going to keep working on it, so it would be cool to be there, and perhaps a little bit time saving. The other nice thing about the vector is that I can, you know, get rid of some of my little wavies here, adjust the line to get it a little more where I want. If it's like just getting out of control, or sometimes if it's like a super long line and I just have a hard time getting it exactly where I want it to go. Short lines, however, are less problematic. Another classic overworld theme. This was a different arrangement for plot music, I think, from Final Fantasy VI. But I do like it. Hey Sona, welcome on in. How's it going? Yes, this Zorua is very sleepy. Glad to hear you're doing well. Thanks for joining in. I am just laying down some inks on this. This sleeping Hisuian Zorua sketch. I usually when I start a stream, I'll do a quick 5-minute warm-up. This is one that I did last week that I just really liked, and decided to keep going on. Also, a great excuse for me to try out this different pen for inking. Janos, hey. Wait, what? No wag yet. Wait, but you just... What? Hello, Janos. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well, too. That's not what we agreed on. How dare you? Wait, could you refresh me what we agreed on? Okay. Yeah, of course, here's a Pepsi. I also got Coke if you need. I mean, I'm most accustomed to Coke, but I'll drink Pepsi, whatever. It's all good. Why, hello, high school bicep W. Thanks for the offer, but I'm good. Good times always. Do you know what Streamrise doesn't have? Is a Janos offering them Pepsi or Coke. Yep. You know, it's funny. Usually I don't get too many bots, but every now and then they'll come by. It's good times. Wait, no, I actually think I turned off follow only. Did I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did turn that off eventually. Not quite. Gotta get rid of that comment? Twitch gets upset when you don't. Like when you don't remove bot comments? Really? Oh, I have so much to learn. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking right now. Hey, thanks for the follow, by the way. I appreciate it. Janice, you just gave your follow away for the sake of free entertainment. Yeah, that was, gosh, that was a while ago that you followed. That was very much at the beginning. You did not sell your soul. Your soul does not belong to me in any way, shape, or form. I'll just, there we go. Cool. Okay. So does Twitch really get angry if you don't delete those? I just always kind of leave them, I'm like, whatever, but... Oh, thank you. So Sona, you're also an artist. So what kind of mediums do you work in? Too small right now, but definitely. Okay, well, it's good to know. I just couldn't quite make it up. There we go. That works. That's fine. Then I'll just use, all this good stuff. Connected. I should be able to clean it up then. Yay. Better. See, it's not even like I had to draw 2 lines there. Beautiful. It's literally promoting an independent site unlicensed for Twitch, so okay, that makes sense. I can see the logic behind that. Yeah, okay. So let's take a look at this without the pencils. Okay. I am so used to working with like a nice, like thick line that it feels weird using a thinner one, but I'm trying it out because I think it could look really cool. So I'm gonna try it out. But yeah, so that's one of the things that I love about Twitch is like artists just pop in, and so we can just chat, have a good time talking art, all that. So you prefer digital, but you dabble in watercolor, acrylic paint, color pencil, and marker, also crochet. So, whoa, that is awesome. If I had the time, I would be very much the same. But unfortunately, like, yeah, also the space for all the traditional media stuff. I am a self-taught artist. I work mostly digitally. About the only traditional medium I do is mostly like pencil. You don't have the time, that's the problem. Yeah, I did go through a crocheting phase, a knitting phase. Like I learned basic sewing, but nothing too fancy. But yeah, it's fun. I love making stuff. Have you done anything with animation yet? Because like with Clip Studio, they have some basic, well, not just basic, they have some good animation tools, and I've played around with that a little bit. Yeah, I have such a hard time saying no to new art forms. Okay, so let's lay down a little color. I have an idea in mind for the lighting in this scene, but what I can also do pretty simply is add layers over the top to get what I'm looking for. Oh, nice. So you do animate, just upgraded to 3.0. I did that too. Like I haven't done the subscription. I just am not quite ready for that. But the perpetual license I like. Wait, so you did turn it off? Good for you. I told you you'd get more following that way, and I'm always right every time. Yeah, I do think that I did turn it off after you told me, actually, because, you know, I trust you. You know, and if somehow it went horribly wrong, I could always, you know, delete my account and vanish from the internet forever. That's not really the plan, but so far it's been good. It hasn't been tragic or anything like that. You're here to spite me. I missed that one. Goodness gracious. Okay, right. I was doing art of some kind. All right, reference layer. Yep, that is. There we go. Now it's the right layer. Cool. Wouldn't be a stream if I didn't get the wrong layer at least one time. you just realized when's the last time you got the wrong layer? Have you actually? Well, certainly. What am I using to draw? This is actually a Surface Studio laptop. It's kind of fun. It will function as like an art tablet, but it also, you know, I can just use it as a regular laptop with built-in keyboard, which I really like. And of course, then I got the Surface, the newer, thicker Surface pen, which I like better than the old one. I used to draw on a Surface Pro. One of these days, I would love to do an art tablet. I'm not quite there yet. Also because half the time I'm drawing just sitting on the couch. So. Janos is never wrong. Yeah, exactly. Ignore that previous comment. You got it, buddy. Okay. So let's see. Yep, all that was on the wrong layer. Cool. Seems about right. Okay. So first up, let's actually get the shade correct. Because I don't think it quite got there. Oh, nice. So you're looking at it too before the iPad Pro. That was one that I was looking at as well. It was kind of a hard decision, but in the end, I ended up leaning towards the Surface just because I could have a regular laptop too, and that was helpful to me. And overall, I've been really happy with it. For my needs, the battery life is solid, although if you were going like all day without plugging it in, it could be problematic. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't know you were using a Wacom. Cool. So when did you get the Wacom? And you said still using it. Sounds like it's been a little bit. I know I had like one of the Wacom, the bamboo ones that I think they're called bamboo, like the smallest one that like it's not a screen. And I started working on getting familiar with it. Yeah, exactly. That was the one that I had too. I didn't invest the time to get really good with it. Yeah, I just did a lot. We had like an iPad 3 for a while that I was doing a ton of art on. And then we went to Surface Pro 6. I went to Surface Pro 6. I say we because like I'm on a creative team with my wife. She's the writer for our like comics, graphic novel stuff. But I started drawing on the Surface Pro 6 and then eventually moved up to the Surface Studio laptop. It's been good. Have an iPad that you Procreate on? I still have never actually used Procreate. Like I hear it's incredible. I just haven't. I mean, also because I never got like an iPad Pro or the Apple Pencil. Like on the iPad 3, I use like the capacitive stylus, which, you know, hey, it's better than just your finger, but not the best. Okay, what do I want to do here? So I know this is kind of a gradiated thing. So kind of, that's reference layer, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm gonna try to cut myself some slack tonight, as it's been a bit of a week. But also even on regular, not exhausting weeks, I do sometimes draw on the wrong layer, as Janos can probably tell you. Yeah. I can imagine it would be very hard to travel with a giant tablet. Oh, you were in the wrong layer? Of course you were. You're usually incorrect, which is why you need me. Of course. Where were you on that one, Janos? Come on. So do either of you guys use any kind of like controller for your like remote to go with everything? So you can do, I don't know, switch to color picker or do things like rotate, increase your brush size. Going from paper to the non-screen was jarring. Yeah, I could see that totally. Okay, what was I even doing? What was I even doing? Yeah, I definitely have, like when I'm streaming is one of the few times that I'm actually sitting here with a keyboard available, and as I've started to force myself to learn to use the hotkeys, it's so much easier. Oh, nice. So the Hisuian canvas has a little controller. And if was it just this last week, Clip Studio was trying to sell their the TabMate. They had some kind of deal going on with it for like, but it came with an additional like Clip Studio 1.0 license, I think, or something like that. I can bring this out here a little more. There we go. And obviously I'm gonna smooth these all out when I get further along. This is just the flat color and getting the basics in. So do you use the controller a lot? I'm always tempted by it, but I'm never sure, like, is it a useful investment? I know some folks in our graphic novel group have tried the TabMate and actually don't like it. Some people even have complained that it's really uncomfortable and wears out your hand really quick. So I'm never quite sure. But see here at Muchos Buenos Studios, we aren't stupid. Not that you are, but we're simply just usually always correct in the intelligent processing going through life and recognize that going to paper to non-screen was a migraine and a half. So instead, we took an easier transition to minimize the stress and not discourage myself as an artist, and tried screen first, of course, at a very limited pace, as it was very early Procreate and not very resourceful, but it helped. Because we at the Muchos Buenos Studios are simply just built correct. See, I told you I'd do it again. No worries. It's you know what? It's still got some humor in it. It's good. I mean, not because it's wrong, of course. Of course. Okay. Can this be a bit too? I kind of like being narcissistic. As long as it's a bit, yes, absolutely. All right, so let's use our blur tool and kind of get in there and make this not quite so neat and clean. Okay. I should play around with the settings on that one a bit, because it's not quite what I was going for. Nope. Probably go a little bit bigger. So you use the controller a lot, but not as much as you could. Oh, that seems really handy going back, because I definitely find myself using, you know, going back and forth between a couple of brushes pretty often. That's kind of cool. But no controller for you, Janos? I can bring this a little bit further in. Probably what I can do is add some, go back and feather in some more. Yeah, I think that would work. Smooth those. Yeah, that did almost nothing. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, that's all right. That is the fill bucket, Geoff. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. Better. Controllers are for rich people. Stay humble, kings. But when Celsius is offering the Clip Studio TabMate for a special price of $49.99. No, it's, yeah. It does, that's the one. Specifically the TabMate I've heard kind of hurts people's hands, so I'm not sure. I don't know. Always tempted to try to find ways, because I'm not the fastest. Doesn't hurt your hand though. I'm not sure what your friends are doing. Interesting. Okay, but that's with the Hisuian controller. It's just good to know. I am trying to figure it all out. If I want to invest in something like that or not. I know another one of our graphic novel group folks, he actually uses a tour box for all of that. And he seems pretty happy with that solution. So I guess that could be another idea. Oh, so it is, yours is just a flat board. So it is a very different design. Okay, good to know. Yeah, okay, so let's bring down that. more. Getting there. Yeah, I always felt like that too. I was like, well, it kind of looks like the Nintendo Wii nunchuck controller, but not quite. I was like, well, the Wii nunchuck was pretty comfortable, right? So maybe, but I don't know. Janice. So you're saying a potential masochist, who is not me, by the way, to clarify, who might enjoy drawing, just asking for a friend, could buy that remote to potentially draw while hurting their hands. It's completely experimental, question mark. Exactly. But not for you. Just for a friend. Now, as long as you're not talking about sending it to a friend to torture them. Exactly, just for a friend. Okay, starting to get there. Honestly, stuff like this is just kind of fun. I could easily just zone out for hours playing with texture stuff like this, which, you know, see previous note about not being super fast. But it is kind of zen, which definitely has its own place, for sure. That would be weird. Wait, that gives me an idea. Thank you, Waggy. You know, I never really think about it. Y'all ever... Oh, that is... I go through phases where I remember to flip it. For me. Like, because I know, like, oh, it's pretty important to make sure it's not super janky. But then I forget for long periods of time that that's a thing that I want to do. Speaking of which, you know what? Let's just do it. Because I have a feeling... Is it in view? I know Clip Studio has a flip canvas. Where are you? Clearly I haven't used it recently because I've completely forgotten where it is. Yep, there we go. Rotate flip canvas. What? There we go. Flip horizontal. There we go. Whoop. It was just thinking for a second. Okay. That's okay. I feel like this is okay. Thoughts? Anything that I'm missing here? I've definitely had them come out much jankier when I flip the canvas. That's for sure. This doesn't seem too bad comparatively. So you do it constantly through the sketching process to the line art? And so no, you do too during the line art? I need to get better at it. For a while I was doing really well with it, and then I kind of stopped. I think, especially when I work on the comics, I kind of forget because it's a slightly different workflow, but not really. But just enough different that my brain's like, oh, What am I doing again? Okay, that was bothering me. Okay. Forget to do it from time to time on personal art, but when it comes to a commission, that's a good point too. Alright, I need to fill in these because I totally forgot to do that, and I think the reference also had, there was some of that pink on the ears. Actually, wait. I was gonna just clip that layer, but I think I might just lock the transparent pixels for this one. Actually, I could also have just... Sometimes I just forget the sheer number of tools I have available to me in Clip Studio. That's better. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. I catch it being super up. I mean, what? Huh? Me screwing up? No, you heard it from a homeless rat. Get out of here. I know, I have definitely caught my stuff looking super duper janky if I don't flip it, but I feel like lately I've had some where I'll remember to do it like once, and I'm like, okay, I can live with that, and then it's okay. Alright. Yeah, you know what? I can also add a little bit of texture just to the fur. Right. There we go. Super fun question, go for it. It may not even be for me, but that's cool. Okay, that's starting to get what I was going for. Okay, I think that's good. So really, I was just planning on doing a super short stream tonight. I'm exhausted. We've had a week. We had a family member in the hospital over the weekend, so I'm still catching up on rest. But I will stick around for that question. So you think we've actually, I'm gonna hop over to just chatting. So all right. I think we've probably gone over it before, you and I, Waggy, but because my memory's bad, just kidding, it's always amazing, we can probably do it again. Yeah, that's, I have a long Animal Crossing fandom history. Actually, I always get this mixed up. We also have a Moogle hiding back here as well. So are you an Animal Crossing fan as well, Sona? Cool. I can I could probably allow links in chat if you want. Give me just a second. Trying to see if I can do this from OBS or if I have to go over to my Twitch settings. If you want, because I'd also love to check out your stuff. Give me just a second. As I apologize for being a little slow tonight. Again, I am just a wee bit tired. Actually, you should be able to do a link. I think I actually have the block hyperlinks off. So if you want to give it a try. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay too. But if you want to drop it in chat, that's also cool. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I know it can be a sensitive topic, but that's cool. I mean, I appreciate you being here to support, and you know, we're just sitting talking art. It's like germane to the conversation, so it's all good. Oh, this is really cute. All right. Don't worry if I ask for it, it's fine, because reality is I'm the most important person in the stream. But what do I say goes, so worry about my permission, not Waggy's. Cool. Yeah, I think the bit's still got humor to it. It's good. It's all good. But okay, so Janice's question though, that's what I came to chat for. What's your biggest pet peeve art-wise? Can be anything at all, but it does have to be a pet peeve. Ooh. You know, it's funny, I know it when I see it. But like I don't spend a lot of time thinking about this kind of stuff usually. Like I'll see it, but then usually it'll just kind of like roll out of my mind. I I'm having a hard time on this one. You have too much thinking time. That's your problem. I don't know. I know we've talked about people trying to use style as a defense for not wanting to try. Which doesn't make sense considering I work full time, but I just guess you just have a busy mind. I mean, don't you work like way too much? I know half the time that I talk to you, you're like, oh, I've just been doing this thing called work. Yeah, I know we've talked about that one, and I agree. Like, I don't like it when people are just completely closed-minded. I know critique is a funny thing because not all critique can be helpful, and sometimes you do have something that you're trying to do, and you know, if you're doing but that goes down to like if you're doing the piece for you and you got what you wanted out of it, that's fine. But if you're doing it for someone else or you're doing it like trying to grow, and then you still refuse to take critique or try to defend it with style, that can be frustrating. Used to do the same thing, but younger artists making the "it's my style" as an excuse. Yeah, I think, you know, it applies broadly, honestly, to stuff outside of art. I think you'll see in any office setting, even you'll get people who are just so entrenched. They're like, oh, that's just not the way I do it, and they use that as an excuse to not like learn new stuff. And I think that's really frustrating, especially when it's like, come on, guys, you could do so much more if you just were open to it. Yeah, and then specifically when you get into art, like it's the style thing becomes such a heavy excuse. I don't know, because otherwise, like, my general take is that liking things is my superpower. So when I look at something, I'm more interested in like finding the things that are working, and I like to call those out. So in general, since that's my outlook, it's kind of hard to think of a lot of pet peeves. Problem is, it's a very broad subject. Honestly, same thing about critique. It's improving art as a personal journey. Comic stands in comics. Yeah, I do have a bit of a visceral reaction to Comic Sans. I'm trying to be open-minded because it's supposed to be really good for dyslexia. So I get for neurodiverse type stuff, there's a place for things. So I get that. I'm not a person who likes to use that. Do you guys know the Saturday Night Live sketch, the Papyrus one? They actually made a sequel to it. I think it was just this last week it came out. Or am I the only one who likes that one? It cracks me up every time. It's with Ryan Gosling and about a guy who gets hung up on the use of the font Papyrus, and it's pretty hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching the first one and the second one as well. Although the first one I think is still my favorite. I promise I'm not always this egotistical. It's true, he's not at all. He's actually very insightful. I dare say, Janos, that like I could take or leave Ryan Gosling, but I dare say that this Saturday Night Live sketch actually made me appreciate him more. At the very least, the first one. I think he did a good job in the second one, but I just like the premise of the first one. I feel like they tried to build too much more on with the second one, but they brought the joke home, and I think they included a nice little jab at Comic Sans. I have people in my office who send emails in Comic Sans, and that's always interesting. Again, because I understand the readability aspect of it, I will, have chosen to not judge them, but I do react to Comic Sans when I see it internally. Hopefully not externally. Okay, so that's all I can really think of for pet peeves. I would look forward to continuing this conversation in the future for sure. So art tips and tricks is about yourself and finding your own way. Agree, 100%. Most people hate the style, but a pet peeve is when people complain about the CalArt style. Yeah, I think it's I don't think any one style is objectively good or bad in the like big sense of things. Like I think they have their places for use, and they have their stories or scenes that they're useful for. You know, I think that some will better serve you than others, and some are better for general more types of stories and more types of art than others, but I don't think any style is particularly just like bad on its own. It's like saying it's my style, though it's a broad topic, and if we had time, you'd go over it again. Yeah, perhaps we'll save that for another stream. I'm actually gonna call it, so I can try to get to bed a little bit earlier tonight. This has been a fun discussion. It's always when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna end stream early, is when I end up having the best discussions. Hey, thanks for coming by. It's really great. Hopefully we'll see you around. I followed you, so hopefully I'll see you online as well, Sona and Janos. Always good to see you. I'll see you hopefully next week. Dream about this discussion. I probably will, honestly. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, with that, you go around. Get very lonely here in chat and need friends. I know Frank hasn't visited us for quite a while. It's quiet in here. Waggy's not really good enough. Thanks. Hey, I'll take more friends in chat. I like it. It's good. We could use the liveliness. Thanks. No problem, I guess. I don't know. I'm exhausted. It's all good. But yeah, I will be back. I stream Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm over here right next door to Walt Disney World. Oh, my bot. It's trying. The bot is really trying to get that Core Toons command in there. It works when I type it. I don't know why the bot can't seem to kick it off, but there we go. That works. Yeah, that's our Substack that we're a part of with some other comics creators for kids, where we do little short educational stuff. But bot, just do better. I need to get in there and fix it, but life has not afforded me the chance recently. But we'll get it there eventually. I've got lots of stream goals for someday. But anyway, yeah, thanks again, guys, for coming by. It's been a good discussion. I've enjoyed chatting with y'all. Thanks to anybody else out there. We are a lurk positive stream always as well, so if you're lurking, thank you. Yeah, sounds good. I'll see you next week. I'll see you all there next week. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, have a great night. Bye, guys.